Say hello, everybody. It's my Tyler over here at OG Gamers Live, OG Gamers World, and we're back. And we are on day 8 of running ASRocks Phantom Gaming Intel Arc a770 16 gigabyte OC Edition graphics card. That's a lot to spit out there. So far, how's it been? Well, for those of you that are just tuning in and don't know, I pulled out my NVIDIA RTX 3090 Ti limited edition card and put this card in its place. And I've been running it now for the last 8 days. And I'm honestly not missing the 3090 Ti in my everyday workflow, which consists of gaming and streaming, recording video, editing video in 4K, rendering video, gaming and streaming, and running video into Discord while gaming and streaming. I'm doing everything now that I was doing on the 3090 Ti. I'll be the first one to admit that the 3090 Ti has more horsepower, but I'm not missing it. This card's doing everything that I needed to do, and I'm just really impressed. I haven't ran into a lot of the problems that a lot of other people were talking about. I haven't had any. My only complaint, and it has nothing to do with the card, is the fact that I have to use NVIDIA's RTX broadcast for noise removal in my live streams and stuff, and even when I'm doing videos like this, because it's so noisy in here, and because it's proprietary to NVIDIA, it doesn't run on other video cards, so I don't have a solution for it. I wish Intel had something that would do the same thing, but they don't yet. But I imagine give them a little time and they will. But I'm just not missing that 3090 Ti in my everyday life. Will I put it back? Yes. But I'm not missing it. I'm doing everything that I was doing just fine. I have run some benchmarks. Let's get that up here. And this card is so new that it shows up graphics card is not recognized, and it just says generic VGA 1X. But if you come down here, it does recognize the vendor as ASRock, and it does recognize the Intel driver. And you can see that it was actually holding a pretty good clock frequency there, 2456. So it was doing pretty good. And the score in Time Spy was 13162. That's 72% better than all of the results on Time Spy on 3D Mark to date. I wanted to put all these scores in graphs because I have some older benchmarks from other cards, and we may look at those here in a minute. Let's go back to the results and look at everything for this card. Firestrike Extreme, it was a 15685. Let's pull up the details so y'all can see that once again, the graphics card is not recognized. It scored better than 80% of all other computers in this test on 3D Mark. Once again, you can see the vendors, ASRock, and the Intel driver and everything. The performance of this card is actually surprising me. I'm just blown away. Let's come down. Firestrike. This one, let me do this. I want y'all to see something here. Firestrike. Add that to compare. I got to figure out how to get to it. There's how to get to it. I've got tests going all the way back down to NVIDIA's Quattro M6000 back when I was running dual Quattros. This is a single card test. It was 15,824. I scored a 16,121 using NVIDIA's GeForce GTX 1070. I scored a 28,613 running NVIDIA GeForce's RTX 3090. Let's look at this card. I scored a 28,695, 72 points higher using the Intel Arc A770 16GB card. That's within margin of error. But what impresses me is even if you remove the 72 points, it was right there with the 3090 Ti. I mean, not the 3090 Ti, but the 3090. That's quite impressive. We'll add that to the compare so y'all can see it. There's an old test when I was having issues with. Actually, that's not an old. That's with the 3090 Ti. We're going to add that to compare. Oh, it's a different test. Never mind. That's why the numbers are different. That's Fire Strike Extreme. Never mind. Let's add the 3090. Let's come up here. I've got this for a 2070. $1070 and a Quattro. Now y'all can see these numbers right here right quick. It's a really impressive card. I will have to rerun the 3090 Ti and Fire Strike as soon as I get it back in this system, get that up there, and maybe do another video on it. We will be pulling this 2070 Super out of that system because that system does not support resizable bar, and I'm going to put this Arc A770 in that system and test it without resizable bar to see what difference it makes. It's not the same thing. I could probably just turn resizable bar off on this computer, and I may do that as well. But I also want to test it in that older system where that 2070 Super was and see how it compares with that 2070 Super in that system. But I've been impressed enough with this card. That I don't know if y'all remember the computer I built in October of last year for Carlucci. He's a fellow gamer streamer. It has an XFX AMD 6900 XT, and he bought one of these cards and had me install it yesterday as a secondary card so he could do his gaming and streaming, use game on the AMD and stream with the A770. It's overkill. He could have done the same thing with an A380, but he's thinking that somewhere down the road he might actually want to build a second computer around that A770. And I agree with him. I like it. I wished I could get enough funding or sponsors to go ahead and build another system completely around this card and just totally replace that old i7 back there. It's 8 years old. But once again, make sure you click that like. Subscribe to the channel. Help us out here because this isn't sponsored content. This is self-funded. I had to spend my grocery money. I'll be eating ramen and beans and potatoes for the next 2 months to pay for this video card. We'll probably be back one more time to visit this card, and that may be after I turn resizable bar off and do some testing with it to see how it works. We'll probably include that in next week's video if I don't forget. Y'all remind me in the comments and stuff so I don't forget to do that. Till next time, this is Vitaly over here at OG Gamers World, OG Gamers Live. Y'all stay safe wherever you are in the world today. I'm out of here.